Our goal is to simplify this expression. So in simplifying, what we're doing is we're taking something that looks complicated and turning it into something smaller so that it can be useful to us, sometimes in solving equations. And sometimes we realize that something super complicated, when you look at it from a different angle, is actually not complicated at all. So what sorts of things can we do here? Well, first off, I've got an x cubed and an x to the fourth. We've got the same base, so we can add our exponents. So that becomes x to the 3 plus 4. Let me hold off on the y to the negative 2, which I can do something with. Hold off on that for a second, because first I want to see what's going on with the y down here. Maybe I can combine those in some way. Well, we have another exponential property, which says that xy to the fourth is x to the fourth times y to the fourth. Oh, and by the way, if you're not really familiar, and when I say familiar, I mean you know them cold. If you're not familiar with your properties of exponents, this sort of problem is going to seem very, very difficult. I have put a web page on the site which does review them for you, but they need to become second nature for you. 2 to the minus 2, well, there's some simplifying we can do there. Simplifying in the sense that a negative exponent means something else. 2 to the minus 2, in fact, means 1 over 2 to the positive 2. So let's see what we have now. Well, this is x to the 7th. X to the 7th over x to the 4th. Let me change that. Since we have the same bases, we can subtract the exponents to get x to the third. Well, x to the third is the same thing as x to the third over 1. So x to the third will go on top. Same game with the y's. We can subtract exponents. Y to the minus 2 over y to the fourth. We'll subtract those guys to get y to the minus 6th. Y to the minus 6th over 1, or y to the minus 6th is the same thing as y to the minus 6th over 1. So I can put it on top. But negative exponents, again, mean something else. Y to the minus 6th means 1 over y to the 6th. So that y to the minus 6th that was on top becomes 1 over y to the 6th. So I can write it like this. And typically, since I have something up there already, I don't write the 1 in. X cubed times 1 is x cubed. So that takes care of that guy. This is just 1 over 4. Well, I can quote a rhyme from one of my ex-Math 112 students. Dividing fractions is easy as pie. Just flip the bottom and multiply. So in other words, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy, and let me break it up into two pieces first. So take a look, make sure you believe that these are the same, right? Because when you multiply across. And I need to divide this guy. So this is the same thing as x cubed over y to the 6th. Dividing fractions as easy as pie. Just flip the second and multiply. So when all is said and done, mushing things back together now, I'm left with 4x cubed over y to the 6th. Multiplying across, it's this guy. Y to the 6th times 1 is y to the 6th. So again, we took something that was complicated. We use our properties that we developed, our properties of exponents, and we've developed something that's easier to work with.